So are you into real estate development? Do you sell housing products? Are you looking for an opportunity to meet your potential customers? Well, then sign on to the Kumasi edition of the Multi-TV HFC Habitat Fair, which comes off at the Round Pavilion of the Golden Tulip on the 27th to 29th of November 2015 to exhibit your housing products and services. You can please contact the following numbers: 0540 106 344 or 0540-111-945 and 0242-737-631. Remember, 2015 Habitat Fair Kumasi is under the theme Affordable Housing and Renewable Energy. Habitat Fair 2015 is brought to you by HFC, Possible Together, Sethi Realty. Fair and affordable housing is the basic right for all. Noble Realty, own a noble property today. And of course, Multi-TV, just thrills. We're on to talk now with my guest seated. Kwabena Mintar-Kando is a Deputy Minister of Lands and Natural Resources and also Member of Parliament for Dwabuso. And Mr. Henry Kwabena Kokofo, his MP for Bantama. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, lady.
I hope you're well.
Yeah.
That was Grace.
Okay. Have you been vetted?
Yeah.
How did it go?
It went well. I've been vetted, cleared, and we're now doing the exhibition of the voter register.
Okay.
Yeah, so probably after the exhibition, then the voting. The date that has been given is 7th November,
yes.
For the elections. So far, it is going very, very well.
How are you doing the campaigning? Because now it's broader than before.
Yeah. I humbly think that it is better this way.
Okay.
Yeah, no matter what, you don't have a perfect system, but as it stands now, the broader the base of a democracy, the better it is.
Okay.
So everybody participate. Now, if you have, in my constituency, for example, if you're about 13,000 or 10,000 people voting, being members of the party, it means that we have not less than 10,000 people who are supposed to campaign. So we share the responsibilities, if they will do anyway. You understand? And so
it doesn't mean more money in the campaigning process?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Not necessarily. Yes, you campaign like you are doing in the general elections. That makes it difficult. You understand? And that makes it, because there were these allegations of paying monies to delegate and all that, and that is what this particular system is seeking to kill.
Would it cure it, do you think?
To some extent.
Okay.
You know, the expenditure you will incur will not necessarily go to a delegate. But for example, during the delegates conference, we were not doing posters. We're not doing billboards. You understand? Because they were delegates. But this time around, because you are going to campaign like you are doing for general elections, you must do a lot of posters, even T-shirts, billboards, and what that makes it expensive.
Okay.
And you're tall. For example, if you go to a particular branch or police station, you were supposed to speak to 4 people, but now you are supposed to speak to a lot of people. So a general meeting sort of. So I mean, it's rigorous this time around. But I think that if the majority of the people choose a person, a candidate, it is the probability of the person winning the general election is higher.
It's high. Okay.
So this issue of people have gone to camp, it is very difficult to camp about 10,000 people this time around.
Sure.
So that will not be there.
I hope that you win though.
Yeah, by God's grace. The people, well, I don't relax, or I don't take any I don't.
You're not taking chances.
Complacency is not in my dictionary.
Sure.
You understand? But my people have assured me, if you go into politics for some time, and the delegates or the voters are talking, if they are talking from their heart, you can detect it.
Okay. So you see they're talking for them.
And I can tell you that they have assured me that they can't afford to sacrifice me.
Amen.
They are really proud of me.
Okay.
I can assure you.
All right. We'll see how it goes. But Mr. Kokofo, I want you to start this conversation with us because we're starting with this issue of indicted High Court Judge Justice John Ajet Nassam, who failed to appear before a judicial committee probing bribery allegations against him and others despite a public notice. What does it all mean to the process?
Yes, let me begin by saying good morning to your viewers, and I'm happy to have met my brother here. Been praying for him throughout.
You've been praying for him?
Yes.
To win?
Yes. I want him to win his
Is it in your interest?
We share, buying of fuels together. So this week he will be buying the fuel. Next week, so it is in his interest for me to win.
Okay.
So I can afford my part of the contract.
He is the deputy minister for my favorite ministry, Ministry of Lands and Forestry. Anyway, on a more serious note, greetings from Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, far away from United States of America. Nana had just finished with the national Rise and Build tour internally.
Rise
and Build, yes. You heard
somebody
it,
said Rise and Fall, so I thought.
Right, okay. So he sojourned to Europe and then to America. He's doing well. Having said that, my usual people in Bantama, yes, with our watch here and all those things, the mango down thing. So I always greet them. Justice Ajet Nassam, is he on the run?
Where is he? I don't know. You tell me.
How would I be able to? You are the watchdogs of
members of the Tiger.
Whatever. You, the journalists, you know much more.
After a whole notice put in the Daily Graphic, he still didn't show up.
Yeah. If it were to happen in his court, he would have issued a bench warrant to go for the culprit. I do not know what's going to happen to him. Anyway, but if you read the script, I think they have about December 11th, up to December 11th, for all the respondents to appear before the committee. And that 1 week has been allocated to each of the judges. This is not the case. So he might decide not to make use of his allocation, his allotted time, maybe at the tail end of it. Nobody knows. But then, having said that, legally, this committee that has been put in place by the Chief Justice, I do not know for too much, but my seniors can tell, does not have the powers of a High Court judge. It does not.
We're told he cannot be compelled.
Yes, it does not have that power. Of course, there is a provision in the Constitution that gives room for a constituted committee that can look into all these things, leading to their impeachment or whatever the case may be. So, and that particular committee that can be created or will be created by the constitutional provision will surely have the powers of the High Court and will be able to subpoena or can be compelled to appear before it. So in this case, I do not know. Maybe he knows better. This is the law. It has always been the bosom of the judge. Maybe he knows something that we do not know, that he can, as it were, boycott or not avail himself to the committee. And the consequences therein, maybe he's prepared to face it, or there might as well not be any indictment on him. So we leave that one to his and his judges, his lawyers.
But can they move on without him? As in, can they conclude without his side of the story?
Why not? They can. So it makes the work of the committee so simple. It presupposes that all the charges preferred against him.
He's guilty.
Sure, silent means consent. And one of the cardinal principles of law is you give hearing to the other party, audiorum partem. So he has been afforded that kind of opportunity, and if he so decides or he elects not to avail himself or take advantage of that provision or that giving, then it is his own. It's in his own interest. So let's cross our fingers and wait and see what happens. Surely they can conclude their findings without him appearing, and that is it. But just as I said, they still have December 11th to go, so there's still some room, some time. Maybe he will reappear and then ask for another scheduled time or what. Nobody knows. So
but if you have not written to the committee and they don't know your whereabouts, there's no correspondence to that effect. You haven't asked that you appear on another date other than what they give you. Then should they hear you when you come back later?
I do not know. That is within the bosom of the committee. They know better. They know what to do. They've been given terms of reference and mode of procedure and proceedings, which I am not competent enough to abet my minds to. So we leave it to them, as I said.
Let me come to Mr. Kando, because your party is in government. You are in government. You probably know where he is, shouldn't you? Shouldn't we know where he is?
I think that we have 3 arms of government, isn't it? And the judiciary is independent, and so if the person were to be a minister, then I would agree with you that the president or somebody in the executive should be able to tell us where even that one is even not easy. Back to Justice Ajet's issue, it is very interesting. I feel that it is in his own interest to appear before the committee because of how the process will go. Once you are served notice, whether you appear before the committee or not, the process or the procedure will continue. And so if you avail yourself, that is where you get the opportunity to probably bring out your submissions, get opportunity to do your cross-examination, and then state your case, whether you are guilty or not.
Maybe he has nothing to say.
Well, then it means that he has accepted that he's guilty. You understand? And so for me, I think it is more in his interest to appear before the committee. So irrespective of the fact that he appears or not, I think that the committee has the right to proceed to hear the matter. And let's see how it goes. As my colleague said,
should governments get involved in tracing his whereabouts?
Is it necessary at this point in time? If it is ordered that the police should go after him, so be it. Then the appropriate institution will do their work. If the national security should go looking for him, an order must be given by the committee, and then the appropriate institution will do their work. But the president cannot get up one day and say, look, because we are looking for Justice Ajet Nassam and it's nowhere to be found, I'm going to look for him for you. I mean, you cannot do that.
So you think, if there's an order for the police to look for him?
Why not? Yes, the law must take its own course. Yeah.
But if you're caught on camera receiving those monies, and I've seen it is an allegation. I've seen pictures of him counting the money in some of the newspapers and things like that. It's a bit difficult. You're a lawyer. It's a bit difficult to prove, to say you didn't do it when everybody is watching you do it.
Well, you see, this is a matter of law, and it's not all that you see that makes a conclusion.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, I've seen you take the money and you're counting, you are checking. You've met me somewhere. I've given you the rest of it and everything, and it doesn't. I mean, because it's a matter of law, it may not look like the way we all think it is.
This is an invitation to treat. You want us to deal with the merit of the case, which I will not go there.
No.
Yes.
I'm just looking at the reason for him not showing up.
Let us play around the periphery. You'll be safer there, because this is a very, very controversial.
It's before a committee that has the powers of court.
Yeah, before a committee and all that. And this committee is supposed to look into matters and then establish a prima facie case, if there is one, against these judges who have been alleged to have collected bribes. So, yes, of course, you might have seen a video. Yes, of course, you might have. But that is why people have to be given hearing. And then evidences are interrogated. Evidences are put to strict proof. You understand? So, and that one is not done in any other place other than the court of law. So, I want to rest here.
Should we expect, almost all the rest of the judges to make an appearance, or you think there are more of these to come, people not showing up?
Well, I think some of them are in court. One of them is already at the Supreme Court and all that. So that's why this issue is quite delicate, I said. Expecting all of them to appear, I wouldn't be able to know sitting here. But that would have been a very normal course, because you are being alleged to have done A, B, C, D, and the head of the institution, the Chief Justice, puts up a committee in place to investigate. So you avail yourself to tell your side of the story if you have any. If you have not, then it's up to you. But then it is within their right to say we are appearing or we are not appearing. So
But I would have thought that if you're not appearing, your lawyer should at least make an appearance on your behalf.
Then you have appeared.
Yes.
Yes. So if you are not appearing, you have not appeared.
You see, they know what they're doing. They know what they are doing. They know what is within their rights, and how to not to complicate matters and all that. So yes, of course, laymen and we sitting here elsewhere might think otherwise, but
they know what they're doing.
Yeah, we should not take it away from them.
You agree? They know what they're doing?
Yeah, these are judges, High Court judges, and so they've sat on issues upon issues, and so I think that we must give them the benefit of the doubt that they know what they are doing. Under normal circumstances, I mean, if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. Do you understand? And these are, you see, issues of law. It's full of technicalities. It is not about the merit of the case alone or the merit of the matter alone. It's all full of technicalities. You may have a very good case, but even if the procedure goes against you, you may have a problem. So I am tempted to believe that they know what they are doing. And at the end of the day, if they think that they have a case, the only place that they can make their case is in the court. And so they cannot run forever. Unless, of course, they decide not to come to this part of the world again. You understand? And so let's give them the benefit of the doubt and let's see how it unfolds.
Ayo.